Thank you, Stu. Big Stu Media. At Big Stu. What, you need some new tires? Go to M&M in Cahokia. What, are you trying to plan for your kids' future, your retirement and stuff, to protect your money? Talk to my literal brother, Aaron Bachman. What, you trying to drink some beers or like some other non-alcoholic stuff? Talk to Four Hands. We trying to grow some fire weed at home? Talk to Tree 14. We trying to protect your business assets? Talk to Chris Sullivan, Powers Insurance. I'm Jason. Who are you?
I'm Leah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Jason.
Who is Leah?
Oh man, where do we start? Leah right now is a bartender and a social work grad student.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
I'm going to SLU right now.
You're a grad student.
Yeah. I did go to Lindenwood. I got my double major in criminal justice and psychology.
Okay.
And then I took 4 years off to bartend in Pierce and fuck around in Southeast Asia for like 6 months.
Is that your ethnicity?
Yeah.
All right.
So I was born in Hong Kong, and then I moved to the Philippines when I was 9, and then I moved here when I was 16.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you come here speaking English? Yeah,
Yes.
in Hong Kong they speak English.
Yeah.
Where did you live in Hong Kong?
Kowloon.
Really?
Yeah.
I stayed in Kowloon.
Shut up.
Hand to God.
My God.
Yeah, I
That's
swear.
tight.
I loved it. God, I loved it. Hong Kong is New York. Replace white people with Asian people.
100%.
It's so tight. I would move back right now.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, I came here and everybody was raving about New York and like big cities, and I was just like, you have no idea.
You have no clue.
Like, the street food there is insane. Every holiday there is like balls to the wall, shit ton of fireworks, people everywhere. It was such a cool place to grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you grow up like in a tower?
No, I don't. We were in like a suburb, in like a gated suburb, kind of overlooking the city.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Your family live here now?
So my biological dad is back in the Philippines, and then my mom and my stepdad and my brother are here.
Right on. Do you still talk to your dad?
No,
Haven't for a long time?
no. Real talk, he disowned me.
Wow.
Yeah.
In what way?
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just he's kind of a dick. And like, so when you first move here under like a residency, you can't leave the country for like the first however many years. Yeah. So the first time we went back to visit, I emailed him and I was just like, hey man, let's try to work things out. Let's meet up for lunch. I'm coming back home. He never responded to me. And he emailed my mom and he was just like, she's not my daughter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
I kind of am a dick back. He was not the greatest person growing up. Like, I understand everybody has their things and like parents are human beings, 100%. But at a certain point he stopped trying and it kind of like turned towards a shitty road. And as soon as I picked up on that at a really young age, I was always the person calling him out. And he didn't. I don't think he liked that very much.
Got it.
Yeah.
Like you think like a personal thing, a cultural thing?
So my dad's German. I think I really
White
think
guy?
Yes. But off the boat German. White.
Got it.
Yeah. Like full on du hast mich mal, Schadenfreude. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you speak German?
I used to.
Yeah.
Like I can speak in curse words.
Got it.
German.
You speak Cantonese?
I used to.
Yeah.
I used to speak Cantonese, Japanese, German, Filipino, and English, and now it's just Filipino and English. Tagalog.
Tagalog, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, dude, he was like, no mas, right?
Yeah, pretty much. He was just like, no. And I was
Hurt
just
you?
like,
Did it hurt you or you were like, fuck off?
Yeah, I mean, so we were kind of like drifting anyway. It was kind of like rough. So I wasn't surprised, but I was still just kind of like, but then I was like, cool. I mean, if you don't want me, why am I going to fight for that?
Good for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that, like, did your stepdad take that place, or you don't see him like that, or what?
I don't see him like that.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy. He's super tight. Very St. Charles. Like born and raised in Old Town St. Charles. Watches Jerry Springer for fun. Plays golf like every week. He's so nice. He's so tight. But
Yeah.
I just don't see him like a dad. You know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What was you say you're 16, you moved here,
Yeah.
right? What's your feeling on the city, or like what happened with you?
Okay, so I moved here as a 16-year-old high school senior in St. Charles. Well,
Wow.
St. Peter's actually.
Where at?
Francis House Central.
Okay.
Yeah. My parents live like off Jungerman. Youngerman.
Youngerman? Yeah. No, it's Jungerman. I know exactly.
Yeah.
Where at on Jungerman?
Like between Willott and Maclay.
Fritz's?
Kind of by that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Like the best way I can describe it is there used to be a Blockbuster, and it's now a Dollar Tree, and there's a Pizza Hut, and there's this Italian restaurant, Arios, I think. They live in the subdivision or the neighborhood across from that.
I can't picture it.
It all looks the same.
Yeah.
So it's
All right.
Yeah.
So you move here. You're a
Moved here.
16-year-old senior.
16-year-old senior.
How? Because you were so advanced where you came from, or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Like between moving around Hong Kong, the Philippines, like the different levels
Mm-hmm.
and the way classes worked in the Philippines, I just had so many credits that
Wow.
I could graduate. I just had to take like one lit class, U.S. government, U.S. history, something
Right on.
like that. Yeah.
It was a breeze. So then you graduated, you're 16, or you stayed?
I
In high school?
I graduated at
Wow.
16.
And then?
And then I went to community college, SCA, for
Yeah.
2 years. Then I went to Lindenwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super international school,
Very.
right?
Yeah.
Did you feel more at home there, you think?
Not really, because I don't have an accent, and it's still kind of cliquey. It's kind of like this constant in between of just like, hey, you look like you're not white, but you sound like you're from the Midwest, so you're still kind of other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like you belong anywhere?
No.
No? You have friends and stuff? You got like a group of people you kick it with? You loner or what?
It's tight. It's like really small. I hang out with like maybe the same 2 people. Yeah. I don't know. I just like, I move through groups a lot. Like I have a lot of different groups that I'm like acquaintances with, and a lot of people that I'm really excited to see. But I don't consider a lot of people like super close friends.
I get it.
Yeah.
You think you entertain yourself a lot?
Oh, yes.
You're by yourself a lot?
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm awesome.
You seem like very sure of yourself, and it's cool. You know, I think some people like try to put that on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, you see it so easy. You know what I mean? You seem like very natural in that. That's cool.
thank you.
Yeah. What do you like? What do you love? What do you do?
I write.
Yeah.
Like I'm obsessed with poetry and slam poetry.
Who do you
I
like?
Sierra DeMulder. Huge crush on her.
Okay.
She's amazing. She's got this tight podcast with her best friend, Just Break Up, where they just talk about like emotions, vulnerability, different type of relationship problems. Rudy Francisco, Joshua Bennett, Michael Lee. Yeah.
Right on. You know Michael Ondaatje?
No.
He's tight.
I'll have to check it out.
Billy's Rain. There's a book called Billy's Rain. It's pretty tight. I used to be hella into poetry.
Really?
Yeah. Like a ton. And I still like know stuff, and I feel like it colors the way that you live. You know what I mean?
It does. Kind of like it puts things into perspective too. And it makes the reason why I like latched onto poetry so hard and started writing was because it verbalized the way I was feeling about different things without being so like in your face about it. Like depression, anxiety, family problems with my dad, relationship problems. It was like just a really beautiful way of putting the way that you feel and making other people not feel so alone in that. Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
For sure. Man, I don't want to get all that in that. So you like poetry, you like writing. What do you love?
I like What else you mean?
Like love. Like what do you like?
What do I love?
Like I'm asking you a couple questions. Like what do you love? What's important to you? You know what I mean? What do you think is pressing right now?
Gotcha. I love like feeling alive. Actually, like for the longest time I didn't. Like everything was super gray, just like moving around and like all of that shit. For the longest time, everything was just kind of like super dull. And I wasn't sure of myself. I wasn't always like this, I fucking love myself. You know? Yeah. So I think right now, like what's really pressing and important to me is just being in love with being alive and trying to find ways to constantly like have that zest, I guess, be excited, whether it's like trying something that I've never done before, meeting new people. I don't know. I like to be terrified in a good way.
I get that.
Yeah.
Terrified, do you mean uncomfortable, or what do you mean by that?
Yeah. I'd say uncomfortable is part of it. Because you know, the cliche thing is, you know, your comfort zone isn't a place to grow. I'm always seeking that growth, I guess. But yeah, by terrified, I mean like being uncomfortable and being excited about something and like being scared about being excited, because your body can't recognize the difference between anxiety and excitement sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. This dude said to me a couple weeks ago, maybe it's a couple months ago, I don't know. This like past year's been like a blur. But he was like, what is the difference between, it was something, it was like fear, anxiety, and adrenaline or something, right? Is like a counselor I was talking to. I think those were the three words. I can't remember what I was like. It's the same feeling for me.
Same. Yeah.
Right? Like I'm like switched on completely, and like sometimes not in a good way.
No. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the way that I react to situations and stuff, or the way that I feel more than anything. Anyways, but do you like you're in school you studied? Say it again.
I got my background in criminal justice and psychology. So
Yeah. How long ago was that?
I graduated in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now
And then now,
you're in grad school for?
master's in social work. I'm in my first semester.
How's it going? A lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't get to meet with my advisor until like halfway through the semester, and he was just like, "You're taking 4 classes and you haven't been in school in 4 years." I mean, 4 classes is a lot for grad school. And I was just like, yeah, I know.
I know. I'm feeling drowning. And then you go bartend at night?
Yeah.
Do you want to say where you bartend?
Tres Equis.
Where's that?
It's on Morganford.
Tight.
They opened up in February. The Locos Tacos
Yeah.
food truck
Yeah.
does their stuff out of there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You like it there?
I love it.
You guys been busy?
It's insane.
Yeah.
Even when it doesn't, I like it because even when it's like balls to the wall busy, I never feel like, you know, everybody there is always like super cool. Most of the time it's like regulars and people in the neighborhood. So it was weird because I only lived in St. Louis for about a year, and like bartending at a place where everybody's so tight knit can be intimidating. But everybody was just like, "You're tight. We love you.
Yeah.
We're like claiming you as our own."
You're the family now.
Yeah.
Is it like a porn theme or something? Tres Equis, triple X. Seriously, is it like, what's the deal with it? Why is it Tres Equis? Do you know?
So it's Tres Equis because it's connected to New Amsterdam Tavern.
Okay.
And in their logo, there are like 3 X's in the flag.
Got it.
And they wanted to kind of like,
Instead of saying Amsterdam too.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. Right on. So, dude, your feelings of St. Louis, what do you think?
I like St. Louis.
Yeah.
I did not like St. Peter's. I did not like St. Charles. I see its charm. It's just not for me. It wasn't until I started like hanging around St. Louis that I thought that I could actually see myself in Missouri for a while. I don't know. It's like you kind of get that city feel without it being too much, like too chaotic. People are always nice. I mean, obviously there's like the random dicks every once in a while. That's just people. But overall, you still get that like Midwestern attitude. There's a ton of like local businesses and restaurants, and I don't know. Like I love it. There's something about it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always going to end up coming back here for some reason. Yeah.
I feel that way.
Yeah.
They say like if you're born here, you come here, you live here, you have like an umbilical cord always attached to you.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna leave, but like
Yeah.
you're coming back home.
I mean, whenever I was gone, people were just like, "Why the fuck did you come back? Like you were backpacking around Southeast Asia. That's the dream." And I was just like, "Dude, I don't know. It's just I felt like my time was up. Not that I was getting bored of traveling. I was just kind of like, this does not challenge me anymore." There's like this whole post about it on my Instagram where I was just like, "All right, I flipped a coin to come here. I'm flipping a coin to see if I'm coming back." Brought me back. It's brought pretty good things. So,
That's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Dude, recently you're Asian, yeah?
Yes.
Asian hate. What do you think?
Not surprised.
Yeah.
It's been a thing that's been going on forever. But it's also one of those things where like the stereotype against Asians is, it's not that bad against Asians, And I mean, like as an Asian, as an immigrant too, I never wanted to take away from the more pressing issues that were going on. But it's difficult, It's difficult to find that balance between like, hey, I don't want to take away from your thing without completely invalidating the other thing.
Are you saying Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's... Yeah, that's literally like an entire building burning down. And it has been for a really fucking long time. And the Asian hate thing was just kind of like the areas surrounding it that are being affected by the smoke and like smaller fires, or what it seemed like smaller fires. So you're not going to be like, hey, let's hose down all these smaller fires. It's like, no, go to that building that's literally fucking crumbling.
I bet you write so well, dude.
Do you agree? Do you
Yeah.
think so?
I was just listening to what you just said about it. I was like, I just started smiling. Anyways, not smiling at the content,
Yeah.
just the delivery.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Like if you, like, what is your, how have you personally been affected? Like this, this is my view of it. Two things, right?
Yeah.
One, I feel like when it's like Black Lives Matter, and I get this, and maybe I'll catch heat for this, whatever. This is just my understanding of it, right? And this is how I process it. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm like, of course, right? And then we fragment it. And I think that like in the fragmentation, I feel like that there's like more people that feel like seen also, but that there's some power in that unity of just saying, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I saw Stop Asian Hate, right? And I do feel like that was like 2 weeks. Right?
Yeah.
There was something that was said several months ago. And I was like, this is going to turn into a thing. This is going to be like a promotion, right? Like I felt like I saw that, and I'm sorry to like talk.
No, you're good.
I have to like talk to ask questions. I'm not like a pro at this, right? I feel like a lot of this stuff is super divisive and almost planted to be divisive. Maybe I think that way because I'm not that dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I love you.
Yeah.
Right? Care who you are, where you're from, how you identify. You're my people.
Yeah.
When that shooting happened in Atlanta, I almost felt like for a minute that there was like rumblings of it, and then it attached to this, and now we're going to run with this. And then it just...
Yep.
Am I off?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, I felt the same way, and I really expected it. I expected it to just die off. I expected it to go exactly the way it went. I expected people to react exactly the way that they did, where they were super passionate about it. Like, it was split, right? There were some people who were like super passionate about it. They did this whole thing for like a week, 2 weeks, like you said. And then there are other people who are just like, oh, it has nothing to do with a race. but that hurts because, you know, no matter like where you're from or who you are, like you said, humans are humans, and I care about you just who you are as a person. But it's different when you identify, when you so strongly identify with these people. Every person that you see your family member. You know, like every news story that you see of like, or me, every news story I see of an older lady being like pushed, older Asian lady being pushed aside, I see my grandmother.
Right.
You know, and every thank you.
Yeah.
And every teenager, every person who's my age who is a victim of that, I see my cousins. I see my baby cousin who's like my brother to me. I see, you know, people that I met while I was traveling who I developed such close friendships with, who welcomed me into their homes when I literally had nothing traveling. So it was difficult for me to hear, like, it has nothing to do with their race. You can't completely discount that as a factor, because if you invalidate that, like, that's a core of somebody's identity.
Right.
You know, and that's invalidating the struggle of an entire population.
Do you think when you say, because I'll think about like, who am I? Right? That would probably be one of the first things you say. Do you think you would say, I'm
Filipino. Yeah. That's one of the first things that comes to mind.
I don't know why I'm getting emotional at you, dude.
Okay.
No, with you, it's crazy. There's like, so, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like such a raw time right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is. And it's like, one of the things I'm really passionate about and what I want to do with my, like, what my writing, my music, or like with social work, whatever, is just like, is display this level of vulnerability for myself that makes other people feel like it's okay to be vulnerable. And I want to also, on top of that, be this warmth so that whenever they do display vulnerability, they're like, I'm in a safe place. This person is, you know, this is my person. I just met them, but I'm good with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tight. I think that with this show, that was like, you reached out, I was like, hell yeah. Like, I was like so excited that there was so many people that look so different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that I wasn't like, I tried, like I would be like, yes, can you come this time? Now let me go look at this person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, that's tight.
Yeah.
It just fell in.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to know anything about you. I don't want to like prejudice my, you know, people's involvement based on the way they look or their content or whatever. But after I like looked at your stuff, I was like, oh, I bet this girl's gonna be cool.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah. So,
I'm kind of a dork, but I think that's tight. Yeah.
How are you a dork?
Yeah. Dude, okay. My apartment,
Yeah.
let me tell you, my apartment, as soon as you walk in, is a fucking jungle. Like,
Okay.
I talk to my plants on a regular basis. I
Okay.
have 2 really old cats. They're my best friends.
Okay.
I talk to my plants and my cats and have like full-on conversations way more than I do human beings.
Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of dorky. I knit for fun.
What do you knit? Do you knit this hat? Hell no, you didn't knit
I did
that
not.
hat. Okay.
I don't know how to knit anything. I like it for the motion.
Got it.
So I haven't made anything. I just have this.
It's like a fidget spinner for you,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. I just
Okay.
have this long string of nothing. I prefer puzzles over going out, for sure. Don't be fooled by this like streetwear. Oh my God, she's tight, man.
Yeah.
Look at that big hoop. And no.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Homebody.
Yeah.
Right on. Do you date people?
Yes.
Has it been weird in St. Louis? Good luck?
Dude, ugh. Fuck.
The
It's
only
been-
reason I asked this, I saw you sent me a message that you're showing up. I looked at your story. Your story said dating when you're 25. Are you 25?
Yeah, I'm 25.
Okay. Yeah, on that story it said
Oh, yeah.
dating when you're 25. It was like, I've seen enough. I'm done.
Yeah, like I'm done.
Yeah.
Done. It's okay. It's too much. It's no. Yeah.
Right on.
I mean, I've tried dating. Obviously, like, people like connection, you know?
Yep.
I've tried dating without, like, staying within a type and just, like, going for the person, like, their personality, how they make me feel.
What do you mean a type? Like,
Like, you know how some people are just like, I want somebody who is tall, tattooed,
Right.
whatever. You know, I tried not to do that. Like I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but like I've dated all different types of people, and it's still just like that story where it's just like I've seen enough. This is okay. I'm fine. I'll just adopt a goat or something.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool. Are there anything you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to being around people again, which sounds weird as a homebody and an introvert, but I got a flash of it a couple days ago. I was in my car and I was blasting Hoedown Throwdown, Hannah Montana.
Okay.
100, like full volume, full send, just fist pumping and shit.
Okay.
And these two guys next to me, like at first I was just like, they're not gonna like this. I don't care. They like looked at me for a second, like just, what's going on? And then they like opened their doors and one of them got out and just started dancing on the street. I was just like, yes,
Yeah.
it's tight. Like I'm looking forward to having that again. I feel like everything that's happened in the last year has people a lot more like closed off and distant, rightfully so. You know?
Do you feel skittish around people now?
No.
I went to El Bronco last night on Cherokee Street. I got off work. I'm gonna leave here and go make donuts. I made donuts last night. Went to sleep. Came here. Woke up this morning. Did this. I went to El Bronco. I was like, man, I'm starving. I went to El Bronco, and a couple things happened. One, they were bumping, and I was like, man, this is tight to be around some people. There was just people sitting behind me that I haven't been around that many people in a long, long time. I'm sitting, there's some people sitting behind me to my left, this guy and a girl, seemed like they were on a date. And then like this family came in, like big, tall dude, kid, girl. And the way that they were talking behind me, this guy was just fucking with this. Started laughing and talking. And I was like, it felt so good. Not even to be participating in it, but just to be around people not knowing each other and like living.
Yeah.
And I'm like listening behind me, just laughing a little bit, eating my food. And this dude walked in. I like always sit with I get as far away from the door as I can and I watch the door.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just like kind of on guard a little bit at all times. And this hand in his hoodie. And I was like, I leaned back, looked at him. I was like, whoa, bro. Like, I thought the dude was going to like do something.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're not used to being around people in a long time. I felt like, and this dude was probably just scratching himself or something. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm like, I'm looking forward to being around people too.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude, when do you get out of school? Do you go through the summer? You already signed up for classes?
I'm trying. I'm looking for an internship right now.
Where at? Where would you love to be?
Oh man, I would love to work with victims of any type, or offenders, really. Like offender reentry programs, 100% was one of my passions. Victim advocacy. The last internship I did in undergrad was the Victim Advocacy Center in St. Charles. I would have liked to be more hands-on with that. Like, it was mostly pushing papers, as an undergrad student. So I'm really looking to just get into the nitty-gritty of it and see if I can,
There's some people I might be able to hook you up with.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
I'm on the board for this place called the Harris House. It's in St. Charles. They have one on South Broadway also.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, they do a lot of good work. But then there's some other people I'll talk to you about also. Please.
Yeah. This was kind of like from earlier.
Okay.
Ish. What's the last thing you did that terrified you? Not in like a skittish, oh my, like fearing for my life, but like terrified in a good way.
I'm like living in it kind of now. I'm getting divorced, right? I'm in the middle of that. And like, that's like been like my identity and my life for a long time, right? And that's like every day I'm unstable. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, I don't know how to like think or feel or, I question my actions. I feel like a little bit of like a wrecking ball. You know what I mean? I like try to be mindful of like how I act and talk and to think even. And lately I just feel, I'm like, man, no matter what I do, I feel like I'm bumping into shit. So I'm kind of in the middle of it now. But then like, I'm working on some new stuff, some new business stuff. And anytime I do that, I get afraid. I went to Chicago. We were looking at opening some stores up there, and you know, I check everything. I'm smart and capable and able, and then I just got scared and I didn't do it. And I'm like, that's not me usually.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're afraid, and I'm comfortable being afraid. You know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like I act well when I'm afraid or my back's against the wall. And I paused and I was like, it fuck with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I got old in that moment. For real.
Yeah.
Like, man, like normally you'd be like, fuck it, I'll figure it out. And this time I was like, oh my God, no. And then I was like, you're a pussy. Or so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
I get that.
So, and I try to do the same thing. Like, I feel like that's like the only way to like stay young. I feel like like you stop doing that and then you're like listening to the same music, going to the same places, talking to the same people about the same bullshit. And I'm just not interested in that at all.
Yeah.
Right. So I do this, but I think this, you know, I'm like, man, what are going to people think of this? Are they going to like it? Or, you know, so this is a little bit like I'm exposed, you know what I mean? So in this way, I'm like, I meet you, I don't know you, you know what I mean? Like, let me like.
This could have gone terribly.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
It'd be the worst.
It could, dude. Yes. Yeah. So, but I think it's been pretty tight. And I think that like, you were talking about exposing yourself so that other people feel comfortable. There's always like a little bit of like pause or trepidation with that. What I've received in return has always been way more than I bargained for, right?
Yeah.
So I try to stay there. I don't like, I don't know. Yeah, I could just talk, but like, I don't give a shit about, like, I love the Cardinals, right? I don't care to talk to you about the game.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, what do you love? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you afraid of? I had another question for you.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Are you like, are you in the study that you are in, or were you studying at school because you were affected by something?
Yes.
What?
I was raped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty common. But yeah, I've been raped.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a victim of domestic abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched friends go through similar things. So there's a strong emotional attachment there. I also have ADHD and bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
So like huge proponent for like mental health awareness and reducing the stigma associated with that.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, I was just going to do psychology
Yeah.
when I went in, but I took a few criminal justice classes, and I strongly believe that a lot of people, had they been given the intervention that was right for them at the perfect time, might not be where they are right now.
The perpetrator.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's saying that going through all the shit that I did.
Right.
Yeah. So right now it's been kind of difficult because we do touch on a lot of triggering things in classes. So I've had to learn how to be really open about those triggers that I have and the things that really affect me. And that's not easy. I mean, like, it's easy to say in passing, you know, and be like, yeah, everybody goes through it. And it's easy to write about, like hide behind a poem online or something. But to reach out to your professor directly or like to one of your classmates and be like, I'm having a fucking panic attack. Like, I cannot turn this assignment in. And then there are all these like meta emotions that like, oh, fuck, I should be able to do this. Like, this is an assignment. Like, this is what I want to do. So there's been so much like learning how to be incredibly vulnerable with the people that I know are going to be safe and learning how to ground myself so that I can deal with those emotions at a later time, but also not let it weigh me down or discourage me from what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know how I got on this topic, actually.
I asked you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you have ADD.
Yes, yeah. I start talking and then
I
black
get it.
out halfway.
Completely.
I'm just
Trust me, I get it.
how did I get where I got? Yeah.
So are you do you feel like you're working through that as you learn, or let me try to ask this to the rape, right? Hella common,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Crazy common. It's something I don't know if you guys are studying this stuff. 80% of men have been molested.
Yeah.
80%, me, myself,
Yeah.
right? A bunch. And I'm man, people that don't, it seems like you've gone inside, right? You've done a lot of work. It's apparent, right? I'm man, and not I want to put more on the victim, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you still have to turn in your assignment,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. And it, you might turn it in late. It might be a bitch and a half, but you still got to turn in that assignment.
You get no passes because of your experience, right?
Yeah. You get a grace period. You get a grace period. You get people, okay, what is going on? What can we do to help? Is there anything we can do to help? But you can't just stay there. You can't just, I understand wanting to just curl up and disappear into yourself 100%. And by all means, stay there for a while. Absolutely. If that's what you need to do for that moment, do it. But you can't stay there forever. You get the grace period, but you don't get a pass.
Do you think you give yourself the grace period, or do you think people give that to you?
Oh, give it to yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck other people.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody knows what you need better than you do. And you can doubt yourself all the time and be anxious about it and beat yourself up and make yourself feel guilty by saying I should be able to do this. I hate that word, should. Hate it.
Do you gotta dude, I can talk to you forever, and this is gonna stretch, we probably have 5 more minutes, okay?
That's okay.
But do you do this? I'm man, you should be strong. And then I feel guilty for we're sharing. I feel guilty for for feeling the way that I feel.
Yeah.
Right? Where you're what I just, it does no good, but going through a hard time, acting a certain way, trying to act and speak the best way I can. Feel bad about the way I feel. And then it's just this cycle of you shouldn't be so sensitive. You shouldn't be a pussy. You should, you know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't have done that.
Right.
Yeah, you shouldn't have doubted yourself.
Right.
And then you feel bad about the fact that you're making yourself feel bad, and it's just fucking, woo,
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'll do a big thing where I'm you should be grateful.
Yes.
That's a big one for me,
Yeah.
right? Where you've been some places, you've seen some shit. I'm sure you've seen extreme poverty, right? I saw whatever. I saw somebody get sold in Kowloon, right? I saw an old guy buy a young girl,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
I didn't know, I was watching it happen and didn't know, but I was that's reality. That's reality for a lot of people. I should be grateful. What am I going to do? And then how you turn that on yourself. How mad for not being grateful, mad for not treating all this with
Yeah.
love. And then being man, I could have done more, should have done more.
But on top of that, it invalidates whatever it is you're going through. Because you're what the fuck is wrong with me? Their life is so much worse than mine. I should be doing something to help them. I should be grateful. I should be happy. Why am I not fucking happy? But then it completely disregards every struggle that you've been through, every emotion, every feeling of extreme pain, even fucking emotional paper cuts suck. You
Right.
know, they still suck. And when you do that should mentality, it makes you feel guilty, like you said, and it just makes you you kind of spiral. But it also just disregards everything. And then when you realize that you're disregarding things, then you feel guilty about that. Or that's how I am anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Just keep spinning. Yeah.
Dude, is there anything else you want to ask me?
No, not right now. I mean, I could talk to you forever. You're so tight.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Love you, dude.
Love you.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to talk about? Or you want people to know? You want people to know about you? You want people to focus on if they hear you or whatever?
If I were to pick one message, let's see, where's my ADD brain going with this? I feel like people look at me and they're just like, she's tight, you know, like she's cool. Look at her aesthetic, whatever that fucking means. And they're like, she's so sure of herself. She's so confident. Like she commands a room. Not everybody just comes out of the womb that way, you know? Like I went through moving, I went through bullying, I went through rape, I went through domestic abuse, I went through fucking struggles, and I was not always this sure of myself. I was not always this comfortable being alone and comfortable talking to people and comfortable exposing myself to complete strangers. So whenever you look at somebody else and you're just like, oh, I wish I could be more like them, you're in the process.
Yeah.
Trust the process. You're going to get exactly where you need to be. And if you want to be that person, you can. It's in there. Just trust that you're going through all of this shit and this pain for a reason. And eventually, like, you'll be the type of person who turns all of that pain into something beautiful.
There's a question that came into my head. This might be a wild question. I'm sorry if it's like triggering, but are you like grateful now for that
Yes.
incident?
I am. And I know it sounds weird. I've had that question before. Like when people hear about like my stories in depth, in detail, they're like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And I appreciate that because they're empathizing. And it sucks hearing somebody that you care about, another human being, going through those things. But after all of the work, like you said, the work that I've put in, I wouldn't be this person.
Yeah.
And for the first time in a really long time, I can genuinely say I love who I am.
Fuck yeah.
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 So yeah, I mean, it sucks. It still hurts. But I'm grateful. I would not be this comfortable. I would not be this open with people and like this passionate about the things that I'm passionate about had I not gone through those things.
Right on. Well, cool. I could definitely talk to you forever.
Yeah.
I hope we continue talking. You're tight.
Absolutely.
Dude, I want to say this like I'm not trying to like segue. Dude, but have you ever floated? You ever done sensory deprivation?
No, I want to.
So STL Float is one of our sponsors and they have counselors there. It's tight. And I'm going to give you if you haven't done this, you should check it out.
Sweet.
But you've been so tight. You want people to follow you on social media or anything?
Sure.
Or you don't care about that? Tell them your
Sure.
socials.
It's Leah Sugai, Leasugai.
Get pierced, right?
Sure, I remember how to pierce.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not doing that now.
No, not
You're
anymore.
bartending.
Yeah.
Come get a drink.
Come get a fucking drink. Be my friend. I don't care. Let's talk about weird things.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Well, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stu. Big Stu Media. At Big Stu.
What, you need some new tires? Go to M&M in Cahokia. What, are you trying to plan for your kids' future, your retirement and stuff, to protect your money? Talk to my literal brother, Aaron Bachman. What, you trying to drink some beers or like some other non-alcoholic stuff? Talk to forehands. What, you trying to grow some fire weed at home? Talk to Tree 14. What, you trying to protect your business assets? Talk to Chris Sullivan, Powers Insurance.